said that when the game was first came up when I was playing it. My sister was over at my house and was playing through the woods, and I said, I'll bet you what's next is either a desert or a mountain. And it was like, Fire Mountain. Like, yep. I bet the third area's gotta be a desert.
It's almost like it's just this generator. It's like they've got all the Zelda tropes in there, and they just shake it up, and then the machine just spits them out.
Back to what I was saying before with the controls, though, but if you're a fan of motion controls, if you're not the sort of person who knows how to use all 25 buttons on a modern gamepad and the 2 analog sticks and all that shit, like, I could see where this would be right up your alley. Like, if you had not ever played a Zelda game before and you were primarily playing on the Nintendo Wii and you like those controls, I can totally see this is a great implementation of that. Unfortunately, until I finally got over my issues, which ended up being like the last 6 hours of the game, it was just incredibly frustrating the entire time. And it broke that horrible rule that I one of my own personal problems where I know exactly what I want to do. I know exactly what I'm supposed to do, but because of the controls, I can't do it. I keep running into a wall or falling off a cliff or throwing the wrong way or whatever.
Yeah, I think the problem is that while it makes it so like, you're swinging a sword and it's accurate and it works really well in that way, it doesn't really make it better. It's like they didn't do something to which I feel like it's more entertaining to do it that way over just pressing the button, and rolling around or something and fighting that way. I find a lot of times that the camera and the button repositioning and everything just ended up being sometimes confusing, like when he's going to jump and when he's not going to jump. And I don't know. I just felt like, how is this better? How is this a better experience for me playing this game? I wish they would just be somewhat more innovative. The flying stuff's okay, but I don't know. I mean, maybe this is why Nintendo's going to go with this Wii U thing now and sort of abandon motion control, because they've looked at each other and go, well, I got nothing.
Yeah. Well, and then the sword fighting, like when you're going up to the moblins or whatever, it's like rock, paper, scissors. It's like, okay, do I go up or horizontal slice, or do I spin around? I did vertical. Oh, you blocked it. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, I'm going to try horizontal this time. Oh, you blocked it again. Good one. Okay, I'm going to try horizontal again. Oh, gotcha. Didn't see me doing it twice, did you? Okay.
Yeah, I think the problem with it is that, since you actually physically have to go in one of those directions, it's like you're holding your arm out to the side to do horizontal, and you see that the enemy is blocking horizontal. So you're like, oh, I guess I need to go vertical. And the enemies are pretty fast in certain sections of this game, so you whip your hand up above your head to move your sword to vertical, and the system interprets that as a diagonal slice, which hits the block, resets the enemy back to a neutral position again, and suddenly you've got to do this all over again. There were fights with those plant monsters in the very beginning of the game that took me like 10 minutes in the middle of my living room trying to be like, okay, I'm vertical. He's still horizontal. Okay, oh, come on. And on the plus side, there were a few places in the game that I thought were really creative. Like, I thought the dungeons were well put together, and I really, really enjoyed the desert area in the game because they had this time travel mechanic of being able to open up these kind of little pockets of the past where you could see everything would come back to life and become lush and green. And there were some parts of that I thought were really striking and really just, they were fun. They were really fun. There were times where I kind of forgot about the combat and just was having fun with these little puzzles and kind of got into it a little bit.
Not me.
Nope.
I was bored. I was just like, oh, what now? Okay, this again. Okay, where do I point my slingshot? Let me look around. Okay, here. Up, got to throw the damn beetle out again. Okay, fly around, little beetle. It felt so formulaic.
Yeah, I think it's a really good game for young kids, and I know that's going to aggravate people, but I think if you've got young children, this is pretty safe, and it's going to eat up hours and hours of their time, and like Jeff is saying, you can go back and play it again, and it's going to be harder, so there's an extra challenge for them, and, it's just like, they're going to be running around and swinging that controller around. They're going to tire themselves out, so they'll go to bed at a decent hour for one, so you can stay up late and do something fun yourself. It's just that as an adult, yeah, I don't know, man. I can't get into them. I've tried, man. And look, I like the new Mario that's out on the 3DS. I think it's great. It's not a Nintendo knock. It's just that there's something about these storylines with Zelda that just, they just kill me, man.
I disagree that this is a good game for children. It's teaching them to be swordsmen, and it's teaching them to be terrible swordsmen. Terrible, terrible swordsmen. So if they ever find themselves in a sword fight, they're fucked. Also, we're going to have a bunch of kids, if this catches on, jumping off of rooftops and buildings and whistling and picking their loft wings. And then you know what's going to happen, Kevin? We're going to have a bunch of dead kids splattered all over the pavement.
How is this bad? How's that a bad thing?
Point taken.
I get to see it on Fox News all the time, and just So okay, well, I mean, it sounds like neither one of you guys really had much enjoyment out of this game. I could say that the game kind of eventually wore me down to the point where I kind of liked it. I mean, I think if you're a hardcore gamer, or I hate that term, but if you're more of a controller kind of gamer and you're interested in taking a look, it's maybe worth a rental, but. If you're a big Zelda fan, probably full price. You probably already own it anyway. What do you even listen to this for, hardcore Zelda fan? You already beat the game 3 times. You're just saying
you already swallowed your tongue and had some sort of seizure in a fit of apoplectic rage.
Yeah, you just want to tell us how wrong we are and how much better you are than we are. So that's fine. You are, but we just don't want to play your game anymore.
Right. Well, I don't know, Jason, Kevin, what do you guys think? What's your final verdict here?
I mean, listen, you can't go wrong with renting it to find out if you're going to be into it or not. So I mean, I definitely don't think that the game is mechanically a failure. The controls are good, and there is a game here. It is long to get going, but for me personally, there's better choices out there. So I mean, I would rather be off playing, like I've said, Skyrim or any game that came out the past year other than this game. But I don't think that the game deserves a negative review. I just think it's not for me, so I just give it a rental.
Fair enough.
I'm going to say borrow it. Don't put any money into this. It's just, I think it's boring. It's repetitive. It's got terrible controls. I hated the controls. I never could get the hang of them. And I just kept thinking, this might be kind of fun with a regular controller, but with the Wii controls, it was just a pain in the ass. So I really couldn't stand it. So yeah, borrow it.
You know what, though? I was thinking when we first put out that video, somebody in the comment section made a really fantastic suggestion about how to spice up Zelda. And it was a really great idea about having a Zelda game where Link kind of looks at himself and realizes that he's caught in this endless inception cycle of fighting Ganon, rescuing the princess, getting his horse and his boomerang and his bomb and that sort of thing, and has to break out of this and say, "Fuck you, princess! I'm going to open a Wendy's in Detroit," something like that.
No, I want a Zelda game where he wakes up, he's all scruffy and hungover and everything. He's in his 40s, and then Zelda comes in and everything, and she hasn't aged. And then she gets swept away by Ganon, and he's like, this shit again. Again, and again, and again, and again.
He just calls up Mario. Dude, you will never guess what happened. Oh, did your princess get captured? Yes. Again.
Why? Because it's the motherfucking Legend of Zelda. Here we go now, I'm an old man and this cave is my home. Take this, it's dangerous to go alone. Now journey across a spooky land. You hold in your hand a sword that shoots laser beams. Won't you feel like a man, dressed up like Peter Pan, on a quest greater than your dreams, then your dreams, then your dreams. Fleeming, demon, go Link. From here to over there, you'll find Ganon's land. Come on, it's your destiny. Trust the hero inside.